Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to another Ballet Deconstructed, where we break down some of the most beautiful dancers in all of ballet. Today we are doing the snow scene from New York City Ballet's Nutcracker. This was highly requested. It's one of my personal favorite parts of Nutcracker, and so I want to take you through it because I want you to be able to fully appreciate it for how A, genius it is, and B, how difficult it is. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we go through it, I want to give you a couple of insights to, once again, help you fully appreciate how brilliant this piece is. In my opinion, Balanchine was incredible with big groups of people, and I think what makes Snow Scene so brilliant is it's only the core. There is no Snow Queen, there is no Snow King, it is just 16 women. And snow and flowers, in my opinion, are the two most genius points of Balanchine's Nutcracker. Everybody has their opinion, but those are mine. The wonderful thing about snow in New York City Ballet is that every single woman in that company has done it. It is the one role where you must pay your dues. Every single one of us has done it. When you are an apprentice, which is your transition year from the school to the company, you do not get an alternate. So the youngest members of the company have to do all 48 shows of snow in a row without a dancer to alternate with. So it makes it extremely difficult to do it 6 weeks straight. Once you get into the company as a core member, you do get an alternate, but you still have to do half. So at that point, you only have to do 24 snows as opposed to 48. But it's one of those things that every single woman in that company has done. And so it's something we have bonded over, that everybody knows exactly what that feels like to have to do it. It's a rite of passage for a woman at New York City Ballet. By the time you graduate out of it, you really do have a full appreciation for how brilliant it is. You either graduate out of it once you get promoted to soloist or once you get more senior in the core. But in my experience, even some of the senior core women still dance it. So it is definitely a very, very special part of New York City Ballet because, you know, not every woman has done swans because Swan Lake doesn't go every time. Not every woman does flowers because some women are too short to do flowers. But snow is the one role that every single woman in that company has done. So when the boys complain during Nutcracker, no. So 48 times in a row your first year. The other one thing I want to point out that you'll notice is that the snow, the little, it's paper, but the little snow falls from the sky, falls the whole time, which is not the case in other companies or in other productions. But the snow starts falling before the dance even starts, so you have to do the entire 6-minute piece trying not to get snow in your face. With that said, let's go through it. I will link this YouTube video below for you to watch it. There's Sarah starting it out. I had, in the couple years that I did snow, I think I did it for 3 or 4 years, I had 2 different spots. So my first spot was the first girl out, which Sarah is doing here, and then I'll show you my other spot. The women are also divided, as we were called, small and tall. So there are 8 short spots and 8 tall spots. And those never change. The short girls do this part, the tall girls do this part. I will show you as we go. This is a small, so I was a small. So you're watching the conductor here, and he gives you the downbeat to start. So she's looking at the conductor, and he gives a downbeat. See, the snow's already falling. Second girl. I love the set, too. It's just beautiful. That's a tall girl, another tall girl. Running through the snow. It's one of those things too, we never got tired of doing it. It's one of those pieces. I also had that spot. I believe, who is that? I can't tell. But I had this spot. I was this girl. I'll insert a photo. That was the photo that ran in the New York Times where my arm is in my face, as you can see. Got called out on that. But I had that spot. So actually I had 3 spots. So these are 4 short girls. I was this downstage one when I did it. It's not me in this video. The tempo at which you dance this too is, depends on the conductor. And I just love this whole choreography. Even here you can see the in and out. It looks like swirling snow, and the tutus swirl, and the crowns are humongous. See, we swirl around because he, you know, snow never just falls. The wind blows it. It goes different places. That's what he was trying to create with this. Find your line. See, the snow is already piling on the ground. I was also this second girl. I also did that spot. That's Sarah Adams. She's now a soloist. See? Soloist. Did snow. Everybody's done it. Tyler Peck did it. I did it with Tyler Peck, and Tyler Peck and I actually collided once. You see my bloopers to hear about that story. This is tricky because the whole line pivots. So let's go back for a second. There's a lot of line pivoting in this piece. So instead of just the line changing, the line, like the two center girls stay the same and the whole line pivots around. This happens several times. So you'll see here, they do the step. I'll go in slow-mo. They do the step and through, and then the line pivots. See, the two center girls kind of stay in the same spot. And then we go this way. A little contretemps, and the two girls they just change places a little bit, but it's really the two end girls that are moving. Line pivots. And now what happens is these four girls were the same first four girls. So right now, only other than the opening, it's only small. All the small girls start this piece. The tall girls don't come on until halfway through. So these are the same 8 that have already been out there. This is really hard to stay on your line, by the way. I lied. These are 2 tall girls, 2 sets of tall girls. You can almost tell how longer their legs are. A lot of cabriolets in this piece, a lot of chassé turns. So these 8 are the same small 8 that you saw. The first 4 that started and the 4 in the pivot line, same 8 girls. I was one of these girls. This is difficult depending on how fast the conductor is playing it that night. If Act 1 is running long, he might speed it up. So here too, you have, you know, the outside swirling in, the inside swirling out. I mean, just the pattern work in this piece is just brilliant. And these costumes look a whole lot prettier here than they do close up. They're very old. They might have refurbished them for the taping, but see, and the other thing about this section is he loved to play with like different canons. So you'll notice here, if we go back, these girls do sauté, failli, and glissade, pas de chat, and then they do it, so they're an 8 behind the pas de chat, and then they're going to do it again, sauté, failli, and then these are 4 separate. Now the tall girls enter. These little things, they're called the pom-poms. Shout out to Glenn Keenan, who is now one of the ballet mistresses. When I was an apprentice, she would always come up to me in the shows she was in. She wasn't in every show because she had an alternate, but she'd come up to me and go, "Do you have your pom-poms? Do you have your pom-poms?" Because these small girls are going to run off and get them for later. Shout out, Glenn. Thank you. She'd always check on me and make sure I had my pom-poms. So these are the 8 tall. So what I like about this is then the formation does different things. So like the stage right is doing something different than stage left, even though we're still in a V formation. These girls are doing bourrée de fourth. These girls are still doing arabesque. Now, a word on these pom-poms, you can see them a little closer up. You are taught from day 1 of rehearsal, if you get tangled, drop. Because it's easier to drop them and get them at intermission than stand there with somebody and try and untangle them. So if you get them caught at all on anybody or on yourself, because of how fast this piece is and how crazy the formations are, you let go. So if you ever see a dancer, if you are at the ballet and you see a dancer drop a pom-pom, that is protocol. Let go, because if you're standing there trying to get it, like you've ruined the line, you've ruined the form, like that's it, like we could have a domino effect. It's actually dangerous because of how fast and complicated this choreography is. So don't judge a girl if you see them drop a pom-pom, because it's protocol if they get tangled. 𝐂𝐨𝐿𝐼𝐞𝐞 right there. She's a soloist. See, everybody's done it. More chassé turns. See, everybody's their account behind. He loved a canon in this. One line goes, and the other line goes. All they are is one count behind. And now you can see, too, how this is starting to pile up because it will increase in a second. You're going to see. Okay, now the 8 small come back. Now, for the first time in the piece, we are halfway through. Look at this. We're about halfway. Now everybody's on stage together. So all 16 dancers don't come on stage together until halfway through. See, even like crossing your pom-poms in first, see this right here? You could get stuck to yourself. And if she, look at the step, sauté failli, glissade, saut de chat, like if she got her pom-pom stuck together and was like trying to, like she'd knock into people, drop. Everybody has a count. I will say Snow is meticulously rehearsed. More chaîné. Chaîné on demi-point. That is the choreography. That is not a mistake. Your toes are happy at that point. Very common place to get a pom-pom caught is here. Right here. Down. Right there. So many people have gotten stuck together trying to come up there. The way this is rehearsed also is once it's set and taught, you'll do like back-to-back runs for stamina. Sometimes I remember, especially for the apprentices, is hard because you're in every single cast. You don't get an alternate. But she'd be like, all right, let's go, cast A, and you do it. And then literally like, all right, take 30 seconds, cast B, let's go. And so as an apprentice, you'd have to do this like twice in a row, sometimes 3 times if she was trying to build up stamina. And then once you get to the stage rehearsal also, because Nutcracker is so big and there's so much to rehearse, I remember getting like 1 stage run with the Snow, and that's it. So it's one of those things that your first year is a little chaotic. Once you get the hang of it, you know, like 5 shows in, you're good. But I remember the first time doing it on stage with the lights and the Snow and the thing, because right here also, da-da-da, and then the bump, 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 it comes. There are fans backstage, big old, like, I don't know, huge fans that they turn on. Cue the fans, they turn the fans on, that blows the Snow that's already fallen up. So not only is it continuing to fall, now the fans start blowing the Snow, and then it like swirls, so it's like the blizzard. We call this part the blizzard, because the fans and the wings go on and the Snow continues to fall. I don't know if you can see it from here, but the fans go on, and it's just, don't wear lip gloss. That's what you learn early on, don't wear lip gloss. That part is very difficult. Now, shout out to, who is it? Is it this girl? Or maybe it's this girl in the back. This is this whole, again, pivot, the theme of pivoting. This whole formation pivots. I have been the pivot girl, which I believe is actually Sarah right here. Sarah Adams. There's Kristen Sagan. Oh, Emily Garrity. She's a principal. See? There you go. She's a principal. The whole thing pivots. This poor outside girls have to like book it, while this one is just like, I'm gonna stay in place. Watch. She's gonna stay in place. These poor girls have to like book it around the corner, and this pivot girl just kind of stays in her spot and then moves into the formation. Watch that one more time. This was always so tricky. Yeah, it's Sarah. So Sarah's the pivot. Everybody goes around. These poor outside girls are like booking it. They have to make it all the way around. Sarah's right here. And Sarah's gonna come forward and make the line. Yeah, it's so challenging. But I remember being the pivot girl and being like, oh, because I've also been the end girl. I remember one year I was the end girl, and then the second year I was a pivot girl, and I was like, this is so much easier. Right here, you're very tired, and you just hope that you make it to 5th. Canon. First line, down. Second line, down. See, he loved a canon. Canon and pivots and chassé turns. Inside circle, outside circle. Again, we're swirling. See this, the snow, look at the amount of snow on the stage. And they sweep it up and use it for the next show. There's not new snow every show. I had a friend who found an earring from like 2 years before in the snow that fell. So the shot, don't slip, don't fall. You really hope you didn't wear lip gloss, because right here when you stop, this is where some people just, like, the snow continues to fall and you just get it. You just get it in your face, it goes up your nose, it gets in your hair, you find it in your dance bag 6 months later. Like, it's just... Here comes Marie and the Prince. She is called Marie in the New York City Ballet version. Watch the On Point series for more of a look for that. See, okay, do you see how it's not just falling straight down? Do you see the blowing, the snow is kind of blowing sideways? That's the fans. The fans are blowing the snow. It's just, see, they're like trying to smile, but it's like, it's in my face. It's in my face. Yeah. There's Emily. Hi, Emily. Beautiful Emily. Cute kids. Hey, nobody dropped the pom-pom. See, well, I don't know if you can tell, this is Kristen Sagan. They're on wires. So there's like a wire, a wire, a wire, a wire, and then you hold the center thing. Oh, this poor girl got like covered in the snow. And then you bourrée off, and you run and change for Act 2, because most of them are in Act 2. And then the star appears, and the idea is that they follow the star to the land of sweets. And that is snow. That is every insight I could possibly give you on it. I remember as a dancer wanting to, like, it's better because of the tempo, wearing dead shoes. Most of us wanted soft shoes for snow. I just do love that it is a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage for every single woman in that company. You saw Emily and Sarah and like people who are soloists and principals. We all did it. And it's something that you all have to experience as an apprentice, which is your first year. You all have to do every show. So it's one of those things that like everybody has gone through that. And so even the sugar, like whoever's doing sugar that night, like remembers that. Remembers doing their 48th snow and like remembering what that feels like. So it's a very special rite of passage, because for example, for Waltz in Act 2, my first year I didn't do Waltz. I was too short. I did Spanish core. So not everybody does Waltz. Some people do Waltz. Most people eventually have gone through flowers in some capacity, but snow, everybody's done. So if there are any more insights, like if you want me to go through flowers, I can. Let me know in the box below. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.